So here I am in the beautiful Niagara Falls, New York. This is the closest I've ever been to Canada without having to pay international fees on my phone. We recently traveled up to Niagara Falls, New York for the USPA New York State Championships. So in the area, we couldn't miss out on the opportunity to see the falls. We're up here to support Rachel Durand and Angel Torres, two of our athletes. Rachel's here hitting her opener squat, 160 kilos, 352 pounds. Solid opener, moved well for her. Way to get herself up on the board. Rachel is coached and handled by Kevin Oak, who you'll see later in the video, as well as Angel, who's seen right here. Angel's competing in the last flight of the day, so his videos for his lifts will be up in a bit. Rachel's second attempt, 380 pounds, 172 kilos. This is Rachel's second meet, second ever powerlifting competition. This 380-pound squat of hers set the state record for the junior 165 women's weight class. See Kevin Oak in the background. Everyone loves Kevin Oak. You'll see some awesome cameos of him later on. Here's Rachel's third attempt, 185 kilos on the squat, 402. She fights for it, gets a little out of position, falls forward. The spotters bring her up on that one. Her second attempt, that 380-pound squat, was the state record for her weight class and an 11-pound PR. So about a 5-kilo PR off of her previous competition. So now back in the warm-up room. A little bit of recovery. Hanging out with Coach. Happy to be here. So a little bit on Angel. Angel is in the Army, airborne. He had an incident where he went after a fellow soldier out of a plane, saved the soldier, and deployed his own chute a little late. So he's had several surgeries on everything from the hips down, some upgraded hardware in the knees, hips, and steel rods, I believe, in the femur. So this is his first meet ever, and he's made an amazing comeback in his strength. Kept a great spirit the whole time. Just a positive guy, a positive outlook on life, and just a really good and close friend of mine. So really happy to be there to support him and Rachel this whole time. So he's coming out. He's actually opening his squat at 440. I think it's going to be 200. See if it comes up on the screen here. .200 kilos. So 440-pound squat for Angel. His trainings had to have been augmented a little bit from what we would typically do with any of our athletes. He just can't hit the reps that most people can. His knees and hips start to get a little sore, to the knees specifically. They start to really hurt. You hit more than a few reps. So he's just got to do lower volume and keep that intensity high, whatever he can do. Got to catch them selfies with Oak when you can, right? Some of his local fans up there in New York. Angel stepping out now for his second attempt on squat. If you're not familiar, he wasn't smelling his fingers before his squat. He was walking out. He had a ammonia cap, snapped it, sniffed it, walked out, gets him a little hyped. Angel also does a really high bar squat. Currently the low bar position just wasn't comfortable for him. Maybe something we try to work in the future, to load the bar on his hips more over his knees. But it's his second attempt, 468 pounds. Angel waves his third attempt just to save himself a little bit for the future. Again, his volume is something he's had an issue with. So I try to push my athletes to eat something and have a substantial meal between squat and bench. Bench is the least physically taxing lift. You're not going to typically throw up or defecate yourself on the bench press. So if you can eat and digest before your deadlift, it's going to be your best option. And then we saw Kevin Oak signing a belt as well for some of the other powerlifters up at the competition. Angel is out there giving the lift off for Rachel's first attempt on bench, coming out with a 110 kilo bench press, 242 pounds. This tied Rachel's best lift from her previous competition, her best bench, at that 242, that 110 kilo press, and pushed the state record, I do believe. That's where they're checking her afterwards to make sure all of her equipment set was to par and met the standards, making sure, if you heard the judge, making sure she didn't have a bench shirt on, how strong and quick that weight moved up. They wanted to make sure she wasn't actually wearing a bench shirt to help her off her chest. We don't have her second attempt on video, but this here should be her third attempt. She had set up nice and strong. Angel's going to give her a good smooth lift off, and this is going to be her third attempt at 117.5 kilos, 260 pounds. And with, I believe, 3 white lights on this list, but a good lift regardless, this set the national record for Rachel's weight class, as well as pushed the state record even further. That third attempt on bench for Rachel was a 17-pound PR from her previous competition. Angel's strongest lift is his bench. We got Kevin Oak out there giving the handoff. Angel's opening on bench at the same weight as his squat. During his injury and recovery, he was able to do a lot more upper body work, obviously, than he was leg work. So he was able to increase his bench significantly from an already strong bench. Here he is with 440. 440 with a smooth, easy opener for Angel. These are the ammonia caps we were talking about earlier. Those ammonia caps are actually from Skull Smash, I believe. Second attempt, 207.5.
Let's go, Angel. Come on, let's go.
That's 457 pounds on the bench. Third attempt, 212.5. And pay no attention to the butt behind the marker. This was a good lift, per the judges on the platform. The highest bench of the day across all weight classes, 475 pounds. Moving on to Rachel's warm-ups for deadlift, and then coming out for her, nice and strong. In the warm-up room back here, Rachel's pulling, I believe, just 405 for a quick single before she opens up on the platform. Maybe surprised to learn that Rachel is a junior lifter. She's only 22, 23 years old. Out here opening up on the deadlift with 435 pounds. The weight flew off the ground to the lockout so fast, I was worried she was going to get a red light for an up-down motion at the top. She almost fell for how fast that was. This here, I believe, is her second attempt on deadlift, 462 pounds, 210 kilos. This was filmed on a different setting so we could put it up on social media, but with such a good angle we could not share it here. This should be Rachel's third attempt. 217 and a half kilos. I believe this is 280 pounds. 280, believe so.
Lift is good. 475 pounds. Gonna let her like rest for 3 whole minutes before we.
So with USPA, if you're going for a national record, you can take a 4th attempt. If you have to follow yourself or immediately after your flight, you're given an additional amount of rest. So she's given 3 minutes rest after the last lifter in her flight, and then the time starts for her bar loaded 1 minute to lift. She's going out here for the national record. This weight, 222.5 kilos, I believe, which will be 495.
490.5 pounds, 222.5 in kilos.
National record attempt.
Lift is good.
National record 495. That's a 500-pound deadlift out of a 23-year-old 165-pound female at her second competition ever. So think about that for a sec. Huge credit there to Oak for the coaching, Angel for the motivation, and Rachel for that hard work and dedication she's put in. So that was her last lift of the day. Awesome work there to Rachel. Angel's back here warming up on his deadlifts. Little honey for the sweetie. Keeping his carbs up, keeping his blood sugar high. And exchanging pizza for sexual favors. Warming up with a quick, easy 500 pounds. We actually had to drill an extra hole into Angel's belt before his squats. He's lost a little bit of weight. He was trying to cut down to the 220, got real close to his weight class, but started cramping up too bad several hours before weigh-in, so was forced to refeed a little bit. Weighed in at 231 into the 242 weight class. So he's lost a little bit of weight trying to get to that 220. Here again is his opener, 611 pounds. Correction, second attempt. His opener was 584. We did not get the video of his opener. 611 on his second attempt. Quick selfie with the Oak in the back. Coming back out for that third attempt off Angel here. Should be 628 for that third attempt.
And in first place, Angel Torres.
Angel took first place in the men's open 242, the 110 kilo class.
125 kilo open division, first place, William O'Neill White.
And you can see there, Rachel had 2 medals. No, correction, Rachel had 1 medal for junior. She had the highest female total, highest female Wilks, and she would have won the women's open 165 class had she entered in that class as well. Some of her numbers would have taken the national records in the open division, so they're unofficial state records, my bad, unofficial state records across the board for squat, bench, deadlift, and total, but since she was only entered in the junior class, her records only count towards that category. But if you would look onto the records books, you'll see that the current junior records are higher than the open. That's as of today, 12/4/19. So it was great to get up there and support everybody and just to see them and watch them lift. It's always a pleasure to get out there with the athletes and with friends and just experience powerlifting in its truest and raw form. So great job to everybody, and was just awesome to be there. Huge thanks to the USPA North for putting on an awesome competition. The New York State Championships was a great event. We had athletes from all over the state, and we drove in specifically from New York to support our guys, and it was just great to be up there, great to see everybody, and great to be part of another great powerlifting experience. So thanks to obviously the meet director, spotters, loaders, judges, athletes, everybody involved. Awesome event. Thanks, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and comment below questions, comments, concerns, and look out for our next video.
Come on, Rachel!